Hello class. In this video, we're going to start section 2.4 where we solve linear equations with fractions, and we're also going to learn how to solve proportions. So I'm going to probably cover 2 or 3 techniques to help handle the fractions in linear equations. So when we look at this first example, you'll notice we have 2/3 times x equals 9. We have a fraction, right? We haven't really dealt with that before. Before I dive into something that looks like this, let me just pose a hypothetical here. If I had something that looked like this, 5x equals 20. Right, to solve the problem, I would undo the multiplication by dividing. Whoops. Right, so I would undo 5 times x by dividing by 5, and I would have x equals 4. Well, that's really what we're going to do here, right? We're going to divide both sides by 2/3, okay? But remember, when we do 9 divided by 2/3, that's the same as 9 times 3/2, okay? So basically, we're really multiplying both sides by the reciprocal, right? So instead of dividing both sides by 2/3, we can really think of this. I'm going to take out my eraser tool. We can really think of this as, here we go, us multiplying both sides by 3/2. And in fact, I want to clean this up a little bit better. There we go. Okay, right, so if I multiply both sides by the reciprocal, that's the same as dividing. Right, so we multiply both sides. So you see the 3/2's cancel, the 2's cancel. The 9 times 3 is 27. Right, so I'm left with x equals 27/2. Right, if you want to use your calculator, right, this becomes 13.5. Right, and they show you the answer down here. But that's one way to handle a problem that looks like this. Okay. Let's look at the next problem, right? It's an example. All right, so I'd like to look at this maybe 2 different ways. All right, so the first way would be, okay, so I have x/3 plus 1/6 equals 9. So I could add, or I'm sorry, I could subtract 1/6 from both sides. Right, I could say, all right, if I do minus 1/6 and minus 1/6, right, I'd have something that looks like this. x/3 equals 9 minus 1/6, right? Because 1/6 minus 1/6, right? This is a minus 1/6 is equal to 0, so I'm left with x/3 by itself, and then I do 9 minus 1/6. So I could change this 9 into 6, right? Right, by multiplying the top and bottom by 6. Right, I could rewrite this as, oops, let's fix that. I could rewrite this as x/3 equals, now you're going to see what I'm going to do here, 54, oops, I came out sloppy. x/3 equals 54/6 minus 1/6, right? Because remember, 9 and 54 divided by 6, that's the same answer, right? 54 divided by 6 is 9. So I rewrote it just because now I can combine 54/6 minus 1/6, leaves me with x/3 equals 53/6. And now to finish the problem, I can multiply both sides by 3. Right? Or you could think of it as 3/1 if you want. Right? 3/1 and 3 are the same. I did that just so you see that the 3's cancel and you're left with x on the left side. And on this side, I could cancel the 3 and the 6. This becomes a 2, right? So I'm left with 53/2, which equals 26.5. Okay? So hopefully that helps, right? That's one way to handle this problem. I'm going to pause the video for a second and show you another way. So if you want to pause, kind of rework this problem, make sure you're comfortable with it, that's fine. And then I'm going to redo this problem a second way. Okay, another way to handle this problem would be to multiply the entire equation by the LCD, or the least common denominator. Right? I'm going to write LCD, or least common denominator. So think of this as 9 over 1, 1 over 6, and x over 3. Let me just rewrite that a little bit better. Right? Think of 9 as 9 over 1, just so you can see all the denominators. Right? So my denominators are 3, 6, and 1. So ask yourself, what's the smallest number that 3, 6, and 1 can all go into evenly? Right? What's the smallest number that I can divide by 3, 6, and 1? In this case, it's 6, right? 3 goes into 6, 6 goes into 6, and 1 goes into 6. So what you want to do is multiply each fraction by 6, or 6 over 1. So there's 6 over 1, right? That's my LCD. 6 over 1 and 6 are the same. Multiply the first term, x over 3, by 6 over 1. Multiply the second term by 6 over 1. Right? That's the 1/6. And then the last term, which was the 9, I'm still going to write it as 9 over 1. Multiply that by 6 over 1. And then simplify, right? 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this first term becomes 2x. 6 over 6 and 1 over 1 cancel, so that leaves me with 1. And this becomes 9 times 6 is 54. You see what we did there? We got rid of the fraction. This is called clearing the fraction. So now this becomes an easier problem, right? Minus 1, minus 1. You're left with 2x equals 53. Let's rewrite that. 2x equals 53. And to get x by itself, divide everything by 2. And you're left with x equals 53 over 2. Right? Which is what we had before, right? And remember that equals 26.5? Right? That's what we did when we solved this the other way just a few moments ago. Okay? All right, so again, that technique is called clearing the fraction. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do several more videos because this is an important concept and it's tricky, right? So I want to make sure you get plenty of practice. Thank you for watching.